This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
Coming soon to video cassette.
Ahoy, mateys, landlubbers and citizens of the deep. Welcome to this one is Scraping the Vault. Hi, I'm Dan, and this is Scraping the Vault. Hold on. And with me, as always, is Jimmy. He is also here underwater with me, as is Audrey.
Hi!
We made a deal with a devil-like character so that we could stop watching the movie.
Yeah. Oi! And the movie is...
Hold on.
Wait.
Okay.
I'm Mermaid this episode.
My name's Murdry.
Murdry.
And I am...
Merman.
Downder.
Dander.
Dander.
Yeah, and as you know from the title of the episode you just clicked on, we watched The Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
Blub.
Oh, all right. So, wait a minute. What happened?
What beer are we going to have?
Scuttlebutt.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Well, that was quick. Good job, guys.
Very much like the film. It just skipped over.
Oh, God. Oh, my.
Yeah.
Should we just start this?
Yeah, let's just start it.
Let's just start this. We all know, Little Mermaid 2, Bubbly Boogaloo was released in the year 2000. And in the year 2000, things happened, as they do. On the old television set that people still watched back in the year 2000, number 10 was The Practice. Number 9 was Law and Order. I think either one of many or just the original. Number 8 was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on Sunday. Wow. Number 7 was Everybody Loves Raymond. Just wait for it. It gets better. Number 6, Monday Night Football. Remember that? Sorry, too soon. Yeah. Number 5 was Friends. People like to watch their friends. Number 4 was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Tuesday. Number 3, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Wednesday. Everybody wanted to be a millionaire because for number 11 was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on Thursday. And on number 2, ER. Number 1 was Survivor. And in theme park news, Disney theme park news, on June 25th, someone suffered a brain hemorrhage after riding Indiana Jones' Adventure, Temple of the Forbidden Night at Disneyland. Once again, Paul Pressler. July 20th, Disney Ambassador Hotel opens at the Tokyo Disney Resort. September 4th, Pooh's Honey Hunt opens at Tokyo Disneyland. September 22nd, someone suffered brain damage after falling out of and being dragged by a car on Roger Rabbit's cartoon spin at Disneyland. Once again, Paul Pressler. This person later died in 2009 at the age of 13. On September 25th, Rocket Rods closed at Disneyland for, bunny ear quotes here, refurbishment. With the projected 2001 reopening, people can now enjoy it in the form of a structurally and visually obstructive empty track above most of Tomorrowland, where guests can also enjoy the following: a closed arcade, a theater that sometimes shows previews, old outdated attractions that take up most of the land's footprint, and 3 very good rides about space things.
Was it the Expedition to Doom? What was that ride again that we talked about? That freaked me out forever and ruined my life.
What?
Ouija?
Maybe this conversation wasn't with you guys.
I don't think it's possible.
Okay, there was this space ride where you're like in a room and it's circular and your seat would spray water on your neck and there's like an alien
Talking
escape.
about Alien Encounter Extraterrestrial.
Yes, that's the one. We talked about this.
So good. It was so good.
Yeah, and that was Tomorrowland at Disney World. Dan was talking about Disneyland Tomorrowland, and it was the arguably best attraction that Disney has ever done.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was very well done, technologically advanced. Now, are you imitating Ouija?
No, I'm a whale. We're underwater. It's a mermaid.
Right. Blub, blub.
Glub, glub, everybody.
Yep. And also in 2000, Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea was released straight to video.
Boy. And the world's all better for it, right?
That's right. Little Mermaid revolutionized the start of the new golden era of Walt Disney Animation after a couple of decades of not a lot of good successful films. And when did the ride open? When did the first Little Mermaid ride open? Was in 2001? No, later than that, because it was in the theater with Califica.
Right. Also, arguably one of the best attractions that Disney's ever done.
Yes, number 2. What was that called? California Dream. It was a movie.
It was Whoopi Goldberg is a god now. That's the name of the show.
Yeah. Short-lived, but yeah. Then Little Mermaid came. So, all right. So,
what did you think it was going to be?
All right. And spoiler warning, because this is exactly what it was. But this is what I wrote before I watched this movie. Ariel and Eric are happy in their new life, legs and all. Some years have passed, and Ariel and Eric have a teenage daughter. Her name is Cinephile. So Ariel means Lion of Gods, and I suspect that this movie is going to be about everything opposite of what Little Mermaid was, right? So what is opposite of a lion? It's a dog. What is the opposite of a god? Is a person. So a dog person, opposite of Lion of the Gods, a dog person is a cinephile. Cynophile. So her name is Cinephile. Anyway, little Cino doesn't like being human with legs. She wants to be a mermaid and live in the sea. So she finds some alternate version of Ursula to turn her into a mermaid while exchanging with her some attribute she prizes. In short, the exact same story beats of Little Mermaid, but opposite. That is 100% what happened in this movie.
Pretty much.
Audrey, what did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be like the movie Taken, but with mermaids.
Does Ariel have a very specific set of skills?
No, this one gives Prince Eric a little more work to do. Ooh. He has to prove his manliness and save his fish daughter before she hits the fryer.
So you're imagining that she's full on fish.
Yeah, maybe it's like cross between so the part in Free Willy where there's a heist and they have the whale and they're like, we got to get this whale to the ocean. So there's going to be that, but people find Ariel's daughter and they're like, we got to get this fish to the sea or something. They're going to keep it like a weird pet. And so Eric has to be like, not if I've got anything to say about it. And then he'll hop on a ship and sail around and probably kill some thugs and guns. Hopefully lots of guns and some cool action.
Little Mermaid 2 is rated R.
That'd be great if it was like a Cronenberg body horror kind of thing where she's she's painfully mostly fish, but it's just the parts that wouldn't be good as a human or she's
drowning in air. What about and the original fairy tales are definitely kind of spooky. They're all really
all the Grimm fairy tales are grim,
right? Yeah, so let's go back to our roots. Let's go back to our fishy scales and throw in a little grit.
Little Mermaid, of course, famously a Hans Christian Andersen story.
Yes. Dutch boy.
Don't make me do it. So I thought that
Hans Christian Andersen was a author and
Born in
Copenhagen, Denmark.
okay.
music makes me want to put on a really high cut red bathing suit and prance around on like a wave rider with blonde hair.
No one.
Well, let's be
Tan.
honest. What doesn't make you
And
feel
some-
like doing that?
Crisp, cold, clean Bud Light.
I thought basically, yes, the movie is going to be, it's the same thing, but in reverse. But I thought it would be stronger on the love story part, where Mariel is like, hey, I found a mermaid and I love him and I'm going to give up like my sense of smell or something for him.
She's 12.
Right. She is 12. Dan really enjoys love stories with 12-year-olds.
Oh my God.
All right.
One thing wait.
What?
Oh, I lost my train. Oh, no. I remember my train of thought. Choo choo. Here goes.
Hop on the thought train.
When I looked on the Disney Plus, where it's got like a picture of the, before you hit play, it's got like a little title screen picture thing. I didn't realize that. I thought the one with brown hair was a boy, and I was like, when is the love interest going to come in on this movie? Because I was expecting like a merboy to show up with brown hair, and he never did.
He was blonde.
Yeah.
Right, he was blonde.
And he didn't show up until after
The movie
you
was
may as
over.
well just not even be watching this movie anymore.
Right, yeah.
Speaking of the movie, here's a trailer.
10 years ago, a mermaid dreamed of life
More like
on
11.
the land.
I've never seen a human this close before.
Now her daughter dreams of the sea.
You know what?
Blah, blah.
Sometimes I even pretend I have fins.
The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea. Get ready for a story unlike any other.
There's no getting ready for this.
Melody can't know
No.
about mer people or Atlantica.
Story unlike any other except for the one that it's based on.
What's happening?
Melody!
Walt Disney Pictures proudly presents an
Proudly.
all-new full-length animated feature.
I know this necklace means something. If no one's gonna tell me, I'm gonna find out for myself.
The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the
Integrity.
Sea.
Or no, initiative.
Only on video and
Gonna go to the
Disney
mer
DVD.
pawn shop.
I'm too old for this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Miss Cleo. You certainly are.
Sorry. I fell asleep.
Wow, guys, let's get some energy up in here. Woo!
I missed your train, so I was waiting for the next one.
Oh, okay.
We opened this movie. Here's how it starts. It opens with Scuttle flying. It's an aerial shot. Now that's aerial like overhead, not the mermaid, right? Scuttle's flying over to Prince Eric's castle. We zoom into the castle and we see a little baby who's reaching for its little mobile. It's got sea creatures on it, right? So I have the first question I have.
It's a Samsung.
Okay. Is now this baby was born of a natural born mermaid and a natural born human. So the baby, was it born with legs? Because if Ariel's a mermaid by birth, then she gets magic legs from her
It's
dad.
a recessive gene.
Because all right, so
The
like
alleles and the pairings.
so like he's got his father's left leg and her mother's right fin.
Right. Well, I mean, if the two recessive, if a natural born mermaid who had legs, male mermaid who had fish and then got legs, married another mermaid who got legs, became a human, then the two recessive genes would present.
Okay.
I think
I'm sorry.
remember.
I'm just stuck on this. And I didn't even think about this until we got to this. So in this movie, Ariel has legs, but in all of the stuff like merchandise and all the things in the parks and everything, she's a mermaid. So why do that? That's stupid.
Well, I guess it's kind of like the
somewhere.
Beast. Like the Beast in Beauty and the Beast lore is not a beast anymore, but when you go to the Beast Castle, it's the beast walking around. So it's just
almost as though they shouldn't be making these movies.
almost.
Just try to tell him to stop. Just try and stop him.
Yeah, well,
So-
Try.
Yeah. So here we are. We're on Wet Pride Rock. Go ahead.
Yeah, so they're on a ship now, and
Wet Pride Rock.
that's for sure. And
It's totally the Lion King from. This is the Pride Rock scene.
Yes.
yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah, because everybody gathers around. They're on the ocean. All the cast of characters come. Like Dog Max. Which, by the way, if this is in fact, never mind. I'll get to that later. So the sea creatures all see each other, and they, Ariel's coming, and then Samuel Wright, by the way, is back as Sebastian, same guy. King Triton rises out of the sea at the climax of this song, announcing, and I'm using song in air quotes throughout.
I really thought that this was going to be an operetta, but then it very much wasn't.
No, maybe 4 songs.
There's
Maybe.
so few songs.
Well, they cut one song for New Ursula that I found Nursula. And I found it while I was considering grabbing clips of the songs, which, by the way, that.
Yeah, by the way, you're welcome, listener.
Yeah. But this song is like weirdly dirty. It's like she's going to have sex with the fish that she's hanging out with or something. But she's talking about this movie's so incoherent. By the way, there are stock dolphin sounds in this scene. I just wanted to point that out.
And you didn't
Give us your best dolphin impression. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, everybody. I'm a dolphin.
Okay. Joey,
That sounds a lot like Kathy Lee Gifford.
my high school humanities teacher.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, the Sultan.
He's not here now.
That sounds more like a dolphin than your first attempt.
That's true. There you go. It's a good
Don't
one.
forget the clicks.
I can't.
I'm going to have nightmares.
All right. So King Triton rises out of the sea at the climax of the song. Everyone's so excited to be together. Precious Melody is the name of the daughter. Melody.
Mm-hmm.
Precious, which ironically, none of these songs have.
Burn
Hey.
disc.
Oh, and by the way, since I'm getting into nerdy sound stuff, because this movie unlocked that level of pettiness for me, rather than having a full choir of people, they just got 8 people to sing and then put in this really cheap delay effect that maybe I'll do right now in the editing, but maybe I won't. We'll see.
Oh, that sounded really interesting.
Oh, wow.
If I did it, now I don't want to anymore.
Okay.
We'll do it because we didn't tell you to, out of spite.
Yes.
Okay. All of me that are speaking right now will have done it.
Whoa.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, so King Triton says, Precious Melody, I am giving you this locket so you remember part of your heart will always belong to the sea. The locket, when opened, creates a sort of snow globe, like the Santa Claus. Remember the Santa Claus? And he gave his kid a snow globe, and there's a live scene that happens. So instead of Santa's sleigh flying over his house, it's the castle and little mer people swimming around. So that's what happens when you open the locket. It's a ball and shows you this live scene. Okay,
with tiny mermaids imprisoned inside of it.
That's correct. And
Let me out.
so just then.
At this point in my notes, which are totally not notes, it's just thoughts that I'm having. I think I did this for myself when I'm looking back and I'm angry, which it's just so many warning signs. That there's so many warning signs.
Yeah. So immediately, it's just as sudden as you can possibly imagine, from here's the locket to a green octopus-like tentacle that reaches out of the sea and grabs Melody, pulls her down, and in the worst exposition writing to date in these movies, Sebastian immediately says, "It's Ursula's crazy sister."
That's so uninspired, it's just not
Yeah,
enough.
no suspense. It's just
anything.
immediately green tentacles. It's Ursula's sister, but she's thin and like sickly, whereas like Ursula was a larger, meatier octopus. So thin, sickly Ursula at best. Her name is Morgana, and she sounds exactly like Ursula because it is the same actress playing the role.
No,
It is the
really?
same actress.
Oh my
I even
god!
looked at IMDb, and it credited the character as Ursula.
Oh my god!
Now, that's exactly how Ursula she is. But it turns out I was looking at a different movie on IMDb.
It could have been Ursula. Maybe Ursula just lost a ton of weight. Like, what if that was...
Ursula died at the end. Eric.
Oh, right.
stabbed
You're
her.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But anyway, so there's a lot of mommy issues. And
Have you ever eaten octopus? It's pretty tasty.
I have. Very, very tasty.
Oh,
It's
yum.
delicious.
Have you tasted Ursula?
I just want to point out
weird. That feels
if-
so wrong.
if anyone from the Walt Disney Company is listening, and
Yes.
I know you are, you
Mhm.
are. Pat Carroll is still alive, so get on it. You can make another movie.
Ooh, we should do it. We should see if she's on Cameo.
Oh my god, guys! No, let's save this. Just I've got a little something for you at the end.
Oh, God.
Just like
Birthday
it's not a
recently.
cameo, but I think you're gonna like my idea for a sequel.
Nice.
Oh, there is one. She calls for Undertow, and Undertow is her shark sidekick, like this giant shark thing, right?
Mhm.
Right.
With Melody being held hostage, Morgana / Ursula says if she gets the trident and then controls the sea, then she will give Melody back. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the
All
Wait,
this
wait,
for
wait,
a
something.
fork.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Why is the character called Undertow? They don't have toes. And look, I realize that this is like a weird, dangerous Jerry Seinfeld place, but this is a genuine question. Like, they don't. Ariel had to learn what a street was, right? She had to learn what feet were. How is the toes aren't a thing in their world? Why are they naming this character Undertow? And by the way, why does new Ursula reference cake and ice cream? This movie is stupid.
Yeah.
And I
Ice
hate
cream
it.
would melt underwater. They can't have ice cream in Atlantis. Those poor unfortunate souls.
Yes. I assume you're being ironic with your definition of Undertow.
Same.
'Cause I don't want to call you out, but look it up. What Undertow means.
Fine. You're gonna listen to me.
Riptides are dangerous currents.
Undertow.
And
Water. Oh.
This is a new segment we like to call.
What?
Anyway, no.
yeah, what are we calling
I
it?
don't know. Yeah. So anyway, that's
You
the
think
big
I care? Hold on,
No.
Jimmy. You think I care about being
Romantic.
accurate? This isn't some other podcast called Please Subscribe to the Podcast.
Yeah, the thing is, I thought you were going to make a funny. It was like Undertow, and I
No,
thought you
it
were
was a
gonna-
genuine thing, and I was wrong, and I don't care.
Well, all right.
Those assholes.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Undertow.
I think had
Say
that.
Well,
Undercurrent.
since you're listening to this, a current of water below the surface and moving in a different direction from any surface currents is the definition of Undertow, which is why the character is named Undertow.
This has been Semantics, the Vault.
Yeah. So, all right. This is the main conflict, and for those of you playing along at home, you know what the rest of the movie is.
Mhm.
Whatever you're thinking, that's what happened.
No, but that's not even true. It devolves into like 15 different movies that don't make any sense at all, and it's like there's so much punch up in this movie that I just want to punch it in the face. No, but really, I hate this movie.
Yeah. So Ariel cuts the rope. We'll get to the rankings later, but Ariel cuts the rope from the mast, which then knocks Morgana into the sea, bless you. Triton zaps the shark, who's now upset because now he says he's an anchovy.
Which, by the way, Triton could have done that to not Ursula.
Morgana, yeah.
Like, Triton is the worst despot I've ever seen, and I've seen many.
That's right. So we call her Nusula?
Whatever. I don't care. Call it. I'm so mad at this movie.
Villain, uninspired villain 26.
Right, totally.
Yeah, so in this one scene, okay, which, by the way, is shorter than how we've described. So far, the scene is over in the amount of time it's taken us to describe this scene. So it's Lion King, Pride Rock, floating Pride Rock. There's reference to Santa Claus. That's just a coincidence. But then it's also Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty. Like,
Right.
it's the same thing. It's just this curse on this child in a way, right?
Yeah, and at this point, I do have in my notes very large, and I'm running out of paper at this point. Fuck this movie already. I needed to write it down.
They have a lot of Disney does great bittersweet and traumatic openings, and this really is not one of them at all. There's so many things introduced. I think there's way more fish people than there are interfish marriages, and it's very dull and not exciting.
Yeah, I actually timed it. This movie has a 28-minute first act. And what we're talking about here is 7 minutes, and I legitimately thought I had been watching this movie for an hour.
They blew it in the first, just, ugh.
Yeah. So Triton so she leaves with this like ominous warning, right? She, baby's saved. Triton sends his guard off to find her. She's now disappeared, despite the fact that we can still hear her ominous warnings. She's nowhere to be seen. She's gone, but we can still hear the ominous warnings, right?
On a positive note, I just want to point out that Ariel does some really cool, like, swashbuckling. She's like action heroine.
Oh, yeah.
Heroine
Oh, and by the way,
moment.
Bechtel test passed.
Oh my God, I've been forgetting about that.
Yeah,
Did
we'll
I
get
do
to
that
it.
for the last? I forgot to do it.
Goofy movie? I doubt it.
I
But
don't
I
think
did do it for the
no.
other movies.
I think Goofy movie. I think an extremely Goofy movie is like it's Lectab. It's pure
That's
Lectab.
It is. Lectab. All right, so baby's fine.
One job. Just to
Well,
make sure that they
If you're a girl, you didn't do it. Sorry.
Jesus.
I'm gonna go swim into a cave and
In the Arctic?
treasures.
It's the cave in the Arctic because that makes total fucking sense. Sorry,
We'll get
future
to that.
self, for all the editing you have to do, but this movie is really terrible.
It makes no fishing sense. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
challenge accepted.
So we cut to shore. If Morgana's anything like Ursula, she won't rest until she finds the baby. So from today onward, there will be no return to the sea for any of them, and Melody will know nothing of it. So like very Frozen sort of cold open where this thing happens, and then we got to tell this kid that none of this exists. My mom's not a mermaid. You don't like the sea. The sea is dangerous, to try to protect her. So it's a Sleeping Beauty meets Frozen sort of open, if that makes sense.
Right. And by the way, entire kingdom just never happened. Tap, take backsies.
Yeah, but it's so borrowed. Frozen 2, I'm like, did they think we just would never put these two things together? So wait, did Disney borrow its cold open for Frozen from Little Mermaid 2? Is this movie a secret juggernaut, but never got realized because it's straight to video?
Good
Maybe.
question.
That would actually, honestly, that would be smart of them to say, like, okay, well, there is this one aspect that we can, like, why not pull the nuts out of the turd, right?
That's no, you know what? I think it's 100% possible because everything people do creatively has to draw maybe from somewhere. Like, it's not like you're starting completely fresh on every project the first time. Like, you've got a little bit of knowledge from the previous work that you've done.
Sure. Yeah,
But it's still total lift from Sleeping Beauty.
and Frozen and Lion King
And
Yeah.
Hans Christian Andersen.
and
Yeah,
Hans.
This movie, it's like, this is like,
Hansi, baby.
hey,
what's
I'm here, I'm
up,
Hansi.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
totally.
So in the movie's defense, which again, we've skipped to the end now. In the movie's defense, Hans Christian Andersen lived in Denmark, it gets incredibly cold in the seas up there. But anyway,
You think Disney's thinking about that though?
I don't know. Okay, so Little Mermaid says to her dad, you got to go away. You never see your granddaughter again. She can't know anything of this. So Triton accepts that.
So sad.
And I know he's not going to see his daughter or granddaughter for the foreseeable future.
He seems like he'd be a cool grandpa.
Totally.
He's like motorcycle grandpa, right?
Totally.
Yeah, but with a fish cycle.
Right.
But
Yeah.
motorcycles
No, it's
for
a seahorse.
fish.
Fish motor. Okay, how would we do that? Because this might be a marketing thing that we're.
I don't know. I'm
seahorse
still
with
stuck
wheel.
on underwater ice cream. I haven't solved that one.
But if Triton were to be on land, he would absolutely wear a leather jacket, no shirt, and he would ride a seahorse with wheels.
And probably work at like a volunteer puppy shelter.
Yeah,
Like,
he'd totally
you know.
be that like awesome motorcycle grandpa who's like a total badass,
Not
but-
part of a gang.
But right. But like everyone's scared of him, but he's actually like a total teddy bear, you know? Yeah,
Grandpa Triton. No, wait, what's his name?
Triton.
Grandpa T.
Grandpa.
T.
Did you say
Grandpa.
Sweet Tea?
No, GT.
Oh, but I like Grandpa Sweet Tea.
Oh, Sweet Tea would be what his name is on the back of his jacket.
Sweet
Hell
tea.
yeah!
Hey, fan artists out there, can you get
Yeah. DeviantArt.
Sweet Tea on a leather jacket on a Harley Davidson styled seahorse?
Grandpa Sweet
Yeah.
Tea. He's like side straddling a seahorse motorcycle with his tail kind of like awkwardly.
Yeah. No, well, he has legs in this scenario. We've decided.
Oh, okay. Really
And-
ripped, buff legs.
Oh, yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
seahorse is also pregnant because it's a male
'Cause it's a
seahorse.
male. Yeah.
With his baby.
Oh, God.
Tritons.
All right, we'll save that one for
All right.
DeviantArt.
So he's accepted the fact he's not seen
Oh,
his daughter
no.
or his granddaughter, but then he commands Sebastian to watch over her. Okay, very much like the first Little Mermaid, Sebastian is the wacky sidekick. In a fit of despair, then Triton drops his magical locket to the bottom of the sea. We flash forward. It's an exciting day. Melody is turning 12.
I
Buddy.
love the transition too. Right after he drops the locket, it's like an exterior shot of the castle, and then boom, exterior shot with wall.
Yeah, with wall. A wall has been erected to
Build
keep.
that wall.
I bet Norway paid for it.
Oh my god.
By the way, King Triton does have a presence on DeviantArt. So
Where
Of
is
course.
this movie set? Because most of it feels kind of tropical, like Caribbean.
Yeah, you got a Caribbean
Caribbean.
Jamaican crab.
if it's the place, it's Caribbean. If it's the ride, it's Caribbean.
Oh,
And
is
if
that
it's
for
a
real?
clip that you use to keep your climbing shoes together, it's a carabiner.
It's a Caribbeaner. All right, so it's an exciting day. Buddy Hackett is back as Scuttle.
Is it actually Buddy Hackett?
It
Or
is
that
Buddy
one
Hackett.
hack comedian?
It's Buddy
What's his
Hackett.
name?
Most of the main Eric is not the same.
There's a comedian
actor.
that does Buddy Hackett's voice. I don't have a
I have
further
no
bit
idea.
there. I was
Jimmy
just,
Fallon.
sorry. I'm looking at King Triton,
John Mulaney.
DeviantArt stuff, and
Mulaney.
it's just weird.
He's an actor. He's the guy that voices Scuttle. That's what he
Okay.
is.
All right, good enough.
All right,
Mermaids.
so Sebastian is lamenting the fact that he is too old to be watching over Melody. He should be playing sea golf and drinking tuna coladas.
Oh my god.
Because I'll remind you, at the very least, the very minimum, this movie takes place 12 years after the end of Little Mermaid. That is at a minimum 12 years.
Yeah, 12 and
Plus 9 months.
maybe, yeah, unless they were getting down to some canoodling before the marriage, which
Well, if you've seen one of the versions of Little Mermaid, it does look like somebody has an erection on the altar.
oh, that's
the-
right.
the priest
oh
did
my
it.
god.
Exactly. This
We
Melody.
need a paternity test.
Exactly.
Where's Maury Povich when you need him? Is it so? I noticed during Tiny Ursula's scene in the Arctic. Am I the only one that caught on to this? This might not actually be a thing, but it seems like there's a thing with the sequels where the villain goes into some sort of like monologue about how like mother always did this. Like there's some weird, like very overt parental issue that they have.
It happened in Lion King 2 with Andy Dick. He had mommy issues.
I get what they're trying to do, but like it's kind of revealing. I mean, it's probably the same writing staff, right?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
So Sebastian finally finds Melody. She's at the bottom of the sea swimming with dolphins. So Melody can... All right. So Melody knows that it is expressly forbidden to go beyond the seawall, but she can't help it. And she loves the sea. And she can understand the sea creatures. Like she can speak to these animals. She's collecting sea items like her mother used to collect land items. And she randomly comes across her locket from when she was a baby. How can she hold her breath for this long or withstand the pressures of the ocean?
She's a professional free diver.
I get maybe it's in her. Maybe that's the recessive part that she can talk to animals and hold her breath for a long time. But then that's kind of the climax of the movie is that she's about to drown because she's not a mermaid.
Jimmy, spoilers.
Sorry.
Actually, I do have an answer for that. I thought it through, and I think I have a really good answer for that. It's because the movie needs her to.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched on the YouTubes? Have you ever watched Pitch Meeting?
No.
So it was originally called Super Easy, Barely an Inconvenience, and it's this guy who writes pitches for all these movies that are actually movies, and he's like, "This is the pitch meeting of what this movie's about."
There's King Triton in the background, by the way.
So it's very funny. Look at pitch meetings, find your favorite film, and it just kind of calls out all the nonsense. And a lot of times, like, why is that happening? Because the movie needs it to.
Yeah. Well, I have a realization that I have kind of later in this, but it applies through the entire movie. I think this movie is only tolerable if you watch it as like a stand-in or a warning or a analogy or whatever. I can't think of the right word.
Cautionary tale?
Cautionary tale. Thank you.
Cautionary mer tale?
This is a movie about what abstinence-only sex education does to people.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So, all right. So then we cut to new Ursula, who's attempting to grow her shark bodyguard back to his original size. Now, remember 12 years ago.
This for 12 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Is this hire and like, hey, listen, guy, I gotta let you go. Like that would probably work out so much better. Like how many? She's running out of resources. She's not.
Or is this the first time she's tried it?
I don't know.
Anyway, she's definitely worse than her sister. So it's either her first attempt or it's taken her 12 years. She still can't do it. Her attempts to regrow him are failures. And he says, I bet Ursula could have done it.
No, don't go there, buddy.
No,
this is a really toxic friendship.
Totally. So stop criticizing me. That's all my mother did, she says.
Yeah.
It was also Ursula this and Ursula that. Morgana why can't you be more like Ursula? Her mom would say. And then we cut to an image of Melody looking at the locket. Now, Morgana strikes the plan when she figures out the magic of the locket. So Morgana's watching Melody with the locket in her little magic mirror ball, right?
Right. MacGuffin 1 is doing its job for the story.
Exactly. So we see her in the locket. Morgana just strikes the plan when she figures out, this is Morgana talking about Melody. When she figures out the magic of the locket, she will have lots of questions and Morgana will be there with all the answers. And then she will dominate the sea somehow. And in an opposite of the first movie moment, Melody wonders what her mother has against the ocean. How could someone dislike something so wonderful? Which is when she would have broken out into part of your world. Yeah, but instead,
I want to be where the fishies are.
Exactly.
I want to see them swimming, swimming around in that. What's that called again? Oh, undertow.
Yes. I don't know what this has to do with feet, but anyway.
What's underwater vent and what's the word? How does it vent? Mariana's Trench.
Is it Sea Star?
Sea Brinesicles.
Step in your feet. You don't get very far. Fins, I imagine, would be more useful.
Gills filter oxygen straight out of the water.
What's the word? Gills.
Now that would be a great time to layer in that multi-voice thing, Dan. You know, we could give all of us our own little choir.
Yeah, we'll see.
Here's some actual dialogue that Melody says.
Don't threaten me like that.
You have to do it in her voice. If you're going to do dialogue.
I'm doing it. Sometimes I even pretend I have fins. My
She's a
mother
little
will
more
never
nasally.
understand. Oh, that's just me.
Give it.
My mother will never understand. I can no. This is it. I can talk to crabs, but not to her. So, Melody, I mean, she remembers that there's a party, and she's not there. She's in the ocean, so she sneaks back into the castle. And on the grounds, Ariel is looking for Melody, and she really misses the sea guys and her dad.
She gave up so much.
She sure did.
She
Yeah,
gave
for a
up
dude, by the way.
Everything.
For a dude.
Sis, drop
Right?
it. Get out
I'm
of
just
there.
saying. It's been 12 years of marriage. They're probably tired of each other.
But he's so charming.
Yeah.
And he's got such a rich personality.
He's got some.
He kind of sings in this movie a little bit.
A little bit.
He's a good investment.
Sure. So she finds Melody in her bedroom. Melody's distraught and wants to talk. So just as she is about to confess her true desires to be in the sea, Eric interrupts.
Doofy dad alert.
Dad.
Here's the thing. So Melody's totally misunderstood. She can talk to animals and fish, and all the teenagers around her all think she's weird, which doesn't really get to be explored very much. But this is when we pass the Bechdel test because two female characters are talking, and it's not about a man.
Correct. Ding, ding, ding. Winner,
Yep.
winner, 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 winner.
Don't tell me what to do. But here's what I don't understand. This family is royalty, right? I mean, unless
he's a prince.
His first name is Prince and his last name is Eric, which I don't think it is. Like, so why are these kids
She wore a
assholes
raspberry beret running around in the secondhand store. I just like Prince. Prince is good. It's good
Like,
music.
I don't understand why these kids are being so like Eric could just put them in jail, right? I mean, this is royalty. This isn't like.
Well, we don't know if the other kids are also royalty. They may be. Maybe Eric has a brother, and these are their kids, and we don't know. They're all in a palace.
Yeah, but okay.
What do any of us know about royalty?
In a Disney movie, though, you don't marry to like. The whole idea is that you become like king and queen, or in Disney movie, it's like you're still prince and princess, but like we never meet the actual like king and queen, right?
No,
it's like
we do not. I think the king does have a cameo at the end because there's an older guy in a big robe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
We don't meet him, but we see a guy in a royal-looking robe at the end.
Well, it's still
Anyway,
a stupid movie.
So, yes, I'm with you. So we cut to the preteen ball, which is Melody's birthday party. Melody, who's awkward and misunderstood, gets an invitation to dance by blonde teenage Eric.
Also known as Beast from before he became the Beast.
Or
Oh,
after.
wow. What if they were in the same universe?
Ooh,
It could
just
be a
like the
prequel.
Tangled are in the Frozen universe.
Oh, yeah. Boy.
And the rumor is that the ship that sinks at the bottom of the ocean in Frozen that is Anna and Elsa's is actually Eric's parents' ship. I don't know. Anyway, there's all kinds of. As they dance, her partner puts his hand on the small of her back, where Sebastian had been inadvertently tied up in a bow as Melody had been hastily getting ready. Now, by the way, Sebastian's been watching this girl for 12 years. Ariel has not seen him, does not know he's there. So Sebastian then bites the mini prince's hand, and he falls into a punch bowl, while Sebastian then flies high up into the air and lands in the 5-foot tall cake prepared by the chef, the Le Poisson chef, same guy.
Hi, Jinx.
And this little 6-ounce little crab falls into a 5-foot cake, and the impact of this tiny creature explodes the cake. And
he's either very, very dense, or he was traveling much faster than he was animated.
Perhaps terminal velocity. So anyway, so instead of being concerned about her dance partner, she's concerned about little Sebastian, which takes other
little
kids.
Sebastian?
Yeah.
Like the horse from Parks and Rec.
That would have made more sense with the cake explosion.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this makes the other kids' musings about how weird Melody is because she talks to sea creatures is confirmed, right? She's crazy. She's not worried about the little boy. She's worried about the sea creature. And then the chef recognizes Sebastian and says, "You." And Sebastian looks at him and says, "You." So a minimum of 13 years prior to this, the chef had a fit with this random crab and recognizes that very crab all these years later.
Tell me you wouldn't forget. Wait a minute. Stop. Hold on. If you were a chef and you fought a crab, you'd never forget it.
I guess, but okay. Maybe if I fought a Jamaican crab, I would probably remember.
You'd be like, that was a weird ass crab. You're never going to believe this, fellow
Why does
chef.
that crab sound like Miss Cleo? It's funny.
So there's crab hijinks and there's chaos. Yeah. So the kids all laugh. Melody's mortified. She runs off to her bedroom.
Right. And that's when Eric should have the children jailed and or executed for being assholes.
And the crab is very clear to everyone. It is a big commotion, and yet Ariel does not see it.
Yeah. These characters are too dumb to be allowed to have a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe she was like drunk or on a lot of...
Could be.
She's a mom. She's probably really tired.
Well, let's play this through because cool motorcycle grandpa,
totally
usually has kids that like kind of don't respond in a responsible way to cool motorcycle grandpa being cool motorcycle dad. So maybe she's just a total day drunk.
Yeah. Ooh, could be. This is evening, but anyway, so we cut to Melody's bedroom.
To forget the pain of missing the ocean.
Ocean.
I gave up my fins for you. I sang a song about it.
I can't see my family. Doesn't she have like 8 sisters too? Like she can't see her. That's so sad.
Yeah. I had to kill my sisters and give my father's love. And I had to learn what all the cutlery was named. And I stopped texting Flounder like you asked me to do. And then what? And what did I get?
All right.
Yeah.
Darling.
So, Ariel,
what? So I'm not tired.
Sweetheart. I care about you.
I care about your dick.
She is a sea creature. Perhaps her tolerance is really low.
It's like high altitude.
So she comes in. So, all right, Melody's in her room now. Ariel comes in and apologizes to Melody for what?
I'm sorry, honey.
Mom, you smell like alcohol. Or no.
Shut up. You smell like...
You smell like alcohol.
I
just have these dreams.
I love you. I just want
Mom, stop. I don't want a hug right now.
You look just like Mommy.
I'm running away.
Eric! You know what that bitch did?
Sweetheart, honey, Stop.
Just get away from me.
No, listen to me.
Okay.
You made me do this.
Okay, I love you.
God.
Jesus.
And scene.
What's wrong with this? Yeah, no wonder. No wonder certain people don't want people to listen to this podcast.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm going to substantiate and totally justify your musings because Ariel comes in. Her daughter's sitting on the bed with this locket around her neck. The crab had just caused a ruckus. Ariel comes in and apologizes to Melody for, I don't know why. And she did not recognize Sebastian. What? And Melody says she's the
not a
prince.
chef.
Well, sure, that's a good point. It could be any crab. And Melody says she's the princess of disaster while she's holding the locket that Ariel doesn't see or recognize. Opens the locket. It comes to life. Why do I recognize this song? Ariel demands Melody does not ever go into the sea.
Abstinence only education, everybody.
Right. You don't understand me, Mom. You've never been in the sea. Melody runs off. Eric comes in, not having witnessed any of this exchange, and says, "You knew this day would come." So at this point, Ariel decides she's old enough to know the truth. And then we go from realization of mermaids existing to Ariel forbidding Melody from the sea to a total acceptance of telling her daughter the truth in 58 seconds of film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
true. So Melody then gets a boat and heads off to sea to find the truth.
I like how adventurous she is. You know, she
For sure.
She goes and does her thing on her own. Like at 12, no, not me. I'm living through Melody right now. She's like, yes, she's going on her own way.
I think Melody is a strong character. I think she does a good job. It's a decent character. It's her movie.
Well, yeah, she's an okay character in a terrible movie. In that last scene, though, did either of you also kind of want Melody to say, "I'm a monster"?
Well,
Doesn't
she did say she is a princess of disaster.
Right. So I kind of got it, but I really, really wanted just a full-on,
I'm a monster. She basically did.
Yeah. You know,
Okay.
monster, you're pretty.
Watch out. You don't want another one.
I don't want to be that character again. I don't like her.
I know. I want to do that so much.
So now we cut to Morgana, whose plan is now being realized. Sebastian tells Ariel that Melody has gone to the sea.
Also, hi, I haven't seen you in
Yeah.
12 years. I'm still alive. You're still alive.
Why are you talking to me, a random crowd person?
Ariel, Melody is gone.
What? How do you know my name? Shut up.
It's me, Ariel. That's a terrible accent. I'm giving up on that.
Oh, God.
That was good. Who did that? Was that you,
That was
Jimmy?
me. Yeah.
Okay.
I like I said, I can do one line of many, many characters. Cut back to, oh God. So Melody is being told that Morgana can give her all the answers, then is pulled along by some evil manta rays to Morgana's lair. And we're going to know the names of them in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So Morgana warmly welcomes Melody and she offers her food like hush guppies. These are fish. There's a lot of that, and I didn't write it all down, but there's a lot of, like sea road, like let's go on the sea highway. like
maybe this takes place in, okay, here we go. Maybe this takes place in current times.
Mhm.
Eric is part of this weird, like off the grid family who like some weird, like Dutch version of, well, I guess Amish are Dutch, aren't they? Danish, whatever. So I already got a lot wrong, but just go with me. I think maybe
Undertow.
yeah, exactly. So maybe like they all have access to TV and popular culture, and this is actually happening like modern day. But Eric's family, who's the only connection we have to the real world, has like this weird cult in a castle on an island somewhere, and their entire kingdom is actually this weird like inbred cult place, and they're like, yeah, we worship fish people, and then and then the movie happens. Or it's just terrible.
Then that would be true of every Disney movie because, I mean, Timon and Pumbaa are singing modern songs. Who knows? Anyway. All right. So Morgana reveals that she's actually meant to be a mermaid and that Morgana can use Ursula's magic to turn her into a mermaid. One little tiny drop of Ursula's magic and she turns Melody into a mermaid.
Which, by the way, Ursula's magic is in a bottle with a picture of Ursula on it.
That's correct. And she won't use that to make her fish, her mini shark, big again. And he's mad about that. So the whole movie, by the way, his entire character arc is getting back to being big.
Yes, which set him up for a really cool twist at the end, but I think they just overlooked it.
Yeah. So anyway, Melody is clearly thrilled. We then cut to Ariel talking to her dad. Somehow they got reconnected 13 years later.
Hey, Dad! Long time no see.
Yeah.
Daddy, I mean, how did he call her? I love you.
How did like? Do they have some kind of like C phone?
Why not? I mean, honestly, like sure, yeah. It's
a coconut phone, and it's like got a wire. Anyway,
yeah,
so
you know what? Maybe the professor from Gilligan's Island is just part of this cult. I mean, like honestly, who cares? I don't mean to. I'm not saying who cares to like your question. I'm just saying who cares to like this entire thing. It's just like they just because they needed to. I don't know. She sent an email. Why not? She sent an email from Ariel 649.-17 at AOL.go.disney.com.go again .geocities.com.
It's a C-mail, by the way. Yep.
Oh, what has this movie done to you?
So they worried about Melody. So Dad turns her back into a mermaid. #branding. Seashells and all, right?
Well, and at some point he says that he has a bunch of people on patrol for her, which, by the way, why didn't he have people on patrol around the castle to begin with?
Exactly.
Like, we knew this threat existed.
Yeah, and then something else happens. He's like, double it. Like, wait, what?
Yeah, and then he says the weirdest line in a movie that I've seen in a while, have heard in a while, which is, "I'm going to go join them myself," which is basically a way for a character to say, "So I'm not going to be on screen for a while, and this is why."
Yeah. So then we cut back to Melody, who's discovering her new world, and she sings, "Here I am, the opposite of part of your world." Somehow it's a duet where Melody is discovering her new world and Ariel is lamenting that she should have shared the truth sooner.
Yeah, and she's not a good detective.
No, but she does find her little cave. She immediately goes to her little cave of wonders.
Right, she just goes back to the places that she never told her daughter about.
Exactly.
It's like if someone
another metaphor for like masturbation.
Certainly. I mean, I don't know if it's actually a metaphor, but it is very masturbatory.
It ties into the whole safe sex dramatic. What's the word I'm looking for?
I have the same problem. I understand. Just the thing. It's the thing.
The art, the story, the dramatic irony. Hold on, let me just throw out a few more words.
Okay.
Crisis. Christmas.
Toolbox.
Jumper. No. God, what is the fucking word?
Pyrotechnic.
Central
syndrome.
Conceit. That's what it is.
Yes.
We have the word. But yeah, this duet sucks.
Yes, it does. It's not even a whole song. There's no
They both sound terrible together.
Yes.
There's it's awful.
And Ariel going back to all of her old favorite places that she, again, never tells her daughter about is like basically if someone in San Diego said to me, help, my daughter's missing. And I would be like, all right, well, I'm going to go check out the McDonald's Playland in Upland, California, because like
that's where I used to be.
I have to go to In-N-Out just real quick. I have to make a stop there. And then I'm going to go get a coffee from my favorite coffee shop, and I hope they're still there. They've been, I used to go like every weekend. They do this cool pop-up thing where they have a local chef who comes in and he makes like a set menu until they sell out. But I have to go, and then
time
I'll
is of
probably
the
go
essence.
get my nails done.
Right.
But just the hands, because you can't paint fins. Water and paint don't work together.
Time is of the essence, so I'm going to go to Rhino Records and see if they have a new bootleg of an obscure David Bowie concert.
Yes.
I should probably vacuum this Cave of Wonders. It's kind of dusty.
I remember this.
This snarb laugh is... okay. All right. Here we go. Now, this is where the plan gets revealed. Because so Morgana, first of all, Melody's thrilled. She goes back, hugs Morgana. Thank you so much. Oh, I love being a mermaid. And Morgana's like, oh, I'm so sad. I knew this would happen. I knew you would love being a mermaid, but I don't have enough potion to make the spell permanent. Mm-hmm. So if I had my magic trident that the evil Mer King stole from me, I could make it more permanent.
Bitch.
Mm-hmm. So then she sends Melody off to steal it back from Atlantica, the place where, with a map, a stone map.
Well, I think it's an ice map, and on it is an iceberg representing the Fortress of Solitude that not Ursula lives in now, a castle, a squiggly line, and a drawing of a whale.
I didn't know you speak whale. All right. So if she gets the trident to Morgana, then she can make the spell last forever or even longer if she wants.
That doesn't make any sense. And it's an immortal mermaid?
Mer-vampire.
So Atlantica, by the way, that's what it's called. Did we know?
Hang on. So wait, wait, I didn't know. Yeah, Atlantica, but I'm a mer-vampire. That's a cool idea. It's better than
art.com.
Yeah.
Those aliens.
Here's another one, guys. Melody says, Atlantica, it's not just an old fishtail.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that in this movie. Melody is off to find Atlantica. We're over 2/3 of the way done with this film, and we introduce brand new wacky sidekicks.
Yeah, it becomes a whole other movie for 10 minutes.
Sure does.
You're right. So right. So
She's
weird.
riding on the back of a whale as she tries to discern what to do and where to go. The whale needs to sneeze, and as it does, Melody is thrown off of the whale's back from a jet of water coming out of its blowhole. Melody lands on a tuft of ice, and the map shatters.
A tuft of ice?
Yeah, it's like a little, like a half pipe of ice. I'm surprised Max wasn't on there shredding it.
Tuft.
There's not a lot of mer-vampire stuff, but I wouldn't look it up.
Oh, are you guys? Sorry, am I boring you?
A tuft.
No, you're not. Just it's this movie.
Yeah, okay. So then Dan sends a screenshot earlier of all these penguins hanging off of a cliff. And he's like, what are you doing, Disney? I'm like, that can't be from this movie. What are you talking about? Yeah. It's from this movie.
Are a riot.
Yes, they are.
But why?
The Penguin TV show that they thought about doing, but realizing that DreamWorks probably had already taken that idea, would have been great. And I'm sad that they put it in this movie.
Bring back the penguin craze in movies. Because that was fun.
Mary Poppins started it.
Happy Feet and March of the Penguins and the Surf's Up movie with Elijah Wood as a surfing penguin. And Madagascar with the penguin, Rico, Charlie, and what's his face. Penguins are so cute and fun. But why are they in this movie?
Because they're in the Arctic all of a sudden. So just then we hear the calls of a mother penguin who's calling for help as her baby is caught on a floating iceberg with a shark circling. We are then introduced to the Timon and Pumbaa of this movie, Tip and Dash. Tip is a small penguin. Dash is a large walrus. It is clear the penguins don't want their help because they are clearly very clumsy. But Tip and Dash to the rescue anyway. The movie then takes a hard left, farcical turn, and they all somehow escape. Tip and Dash are shamed away, where they then come across Melody.
Well, and I think also it got lost in us talking over you that they do the cliff thing again.
They do. Yeah. They do the cliff thing again, which they've done in many, many of the previous, where they just make a chain with bodies to try to reach a thing.
Yeah.
And they fail.
Someone who produces this movie thinks that bit is fantastic.
Sure.
Like it's happened enough times that it's probably the work of a single person that's like, do the cliff thing again. You know, they love the cliff thing.
They love the cliff thing.
It's been shown, market research. They love the cliff thing. Kids love it.
Yep.
Ted, you love it, and you're writing the paycheck, so we'll put it in. But it's been in every single. Put it in. Just put it in.
It's Michael Eisner, by the way.
Go chop on it.
I really did enjoy watching the penguins' expressions and animations. Yes. Most of the movie doesn't have enough in betweens. I think they just don't spend a lot of time making the animation look good. But this dang penguin was so freaking cute and fun.
You talking about Tip?
Tip, my boy, my little penguin man.
Yeah. So Tip and Dash offer to show Melody the way to Atlantica. As they go, they sing Titanic Tip and Daring Dash, which is their
incredibly earwormy.
Is it?
Yeah, Titanic Tip and Daring Dash, adventurers / explorers. Titanic Tip and Daring Dash, adventurers / explorers.
There you go.
It's stuck.
At this point, and I'm not joking at all, I'm just watching the time code go by. Because I got to a point where every time I thought for sure, because I was expecting, I had to do some, I was getting ready, I was going to get ready for game night, and I was going to start at a certain time, and I had to do, some things before. And so this entire time, I'm positive that I'm running out of time. And I look at the thing and it's like, no, 3 minutes have passed. I'm like, there's no way that only 3 minutes have happened. So at some point, I was watching the time code about as much as I was watching the movie, if not more.
Just waiting for it to be done.
I gave up on note taking. I was just I was just watching it. I really wasn't engaged in it.
Yeah, totally. And me too. I have half the notes I normally do on these movies, which is why I'm letting you play the married couple who beats each other.
This song,
which I didn't introduce, by the way.
This song immediately, I realized I had seen this movie before back at my friend Christine's house in probably high school, middle school. We used to watch a lot of Disney movies at her house in her basement. And I was taken back. Oh, this song I've heard before. I remember it being memorable. And then the rest of the movie I don't remember at all. Just this one song, literally the line that I sang minutes ago. That's the only thing I remembered from this damn movie.
And it wasn't in the preview, so that must have been
it.
So Morgana is watching all of this as they sing their exposition song that Audrey earwormed. Exactly. So she's watching this whole thing, and she sends her manta rays named Cloak and Dagger.
Yuck.
To make sure that no one interferes with this plan. Let me tell you the entire arc of Cloak and Dagger. They fly over Atlantica and lead Ariel back to the Ice Palace. That is what happens.
And you can get your picture taken with them at California Adventure.
Really?
No, I'm just...
Sorry.
Wow. All right.
I've mentioned I'm pretty gullible, right?
Hey, I bought it too.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're almost done with this movie. Cut to Ariel and her dad. She's reunited with Flounder, who shows up at the end. There's a little mistaken identity thing where Ariel sees a mini version of Flounder, the size it was when she was little. But that was actually Flounder's kid.
And Flounder's clearly in an unhappy relationship.
Yeah, well, mom's nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
Hey, Ariel.
Let's have fun.
Hi,
here.
Ariel. My
Hi.
nose is plugged all the time.
Remember when we did we went to that party and it's so fun. And he talked and we kissed in the bathroom. I just my husband doesn't understand me.
Okay. So she reunites with Flounder, who agrees to help find Melody. Now the whole kingdom is looking for Melody, right?
The two of them sober up together, and
Yes.
yeah,
They go to a Denny's.
underwater Denny's.
Get a couple coffees in them and some loaded hash browns.
Yep. Then they're off to find Melody. Now, again, I'll remind you, the entire kingdom is looking for Melody. So Melody, casually floats through the palace and randomly bumps into a blonde merboy. She is totally smitten with him.
He looks exactly like the other blonde
Exactly.
kid, but with
This one with
fish bottom.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tip and Dash intervene and remind Melody of her mission. Focus. They make their way to Triton's throne room. She sees Triton, who is sad about something.
Yeah, he's just like hanging out. He's hanging out in his throne room. Like, I really hope something comes of this investigation that I supposedly said I was going to help with.
People got to take a break here and there. So if I had a throne room, I probably wouldn't use it a whole lot. I think I'd feel more cozy in a nice armchair in like in a reading nook.
Yeah.
Like who's gonna hang out in a throne room unless it was a really comfortable chair and the
it's a big
temperature was
chair.
right.
Yeah.
Triton, the scene with Triton hanging out in his throne room would actually make more sense, and I'm not joking, but I kind of am, but I'm not. It would actually make more sense if we heard like car talk in the background, like on the radio. Like he's just like, "This is how I unwind," you know.
Oh yeah. Well, he's a roadie.
Right. He's cool motorcycle grandpa, so he would listen to car talk.
He loves the hogs. Anyway, so there's a whole comedy of errors thing here where Melody's watching him. He looks sad. He doesn't look like a thief. He doesn't look like a bad guy. And then somebody calls for him, and then he gets all mad and pounds the table. So he's being a big D. And so then he leaves the throne room. Melody, again, entire palace looking for her, goes into the throne room, takes the trident, but then she drops her little necklace that has her name on it.
Yeah, how did that happen? Did it like snag on something, or she just couldn't hold two things at once?
It's a rule in this movie that when you grab MacGuffin 2, you have to trade it for MacGuffin 1.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like Legend of Zelda. You know, you have to trade stuff in to upgrade.
Yeah. It's just all this comedy of errors. So near misses, like Triton misses Melody in the throne room. Melody misses her mom as she enters. The other one exits. She gets a trident, drops her locket. Triton and Ariel immediately return to the throne room to discover the trident is missing. And Sebastian's like, hey, that trident can only be removed by him or one of his descendants. And then they immediately find the locket to discover it was removed by Melody because her name is on the locket.
That's convenient.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in Legend of Zelda, you can hold on to more than one MacGuffin. What are you talking about, Dan? You collect the sage's medals and like
I'm talking about the only Legend of Zelda that anyone should bother playing, which is the original NES version.
NES. You weren't
where you have to trade in your old sword for the new sword so that you can then defeat the evil Ganon, who is, by the way, located in one of the mountains towards the very top of the map, and you need a bomb to open up the entrance. So, pro tip.
All right. Cool.
Thank you. I mean, you're welcome, kids. Also,
so
thank you.
It's at this point where they realize if Morgana gets a hold of this trident, then he doubles the search party. Like, what were they doing before?
Yep.
So are we quadrupled at this point? How is it?
I don't know. Like
Well,
they
what
had
is-
like a couple of guys before, and now they have 4.
What's
well,
the
I mean-
term? Compounding interest, but with
Yes.
people.
Right, but I think at some point you have to face the fact that you're doubling or tripling or quadrupling 0. You know,
They
'cause
went
they're
from 1 guard to 2 guards to 4 guards to 8 guards
they went-
to
they-
16.
they went from this is such a horrible threat that we need to shut down this family's life and communication between these two worlds. We need to shut it down because it's such a threat. And then let's not be inconvenienced by it because we're good now. Let's not talk to the kid about it because, you know, we're hiding all these things. It's going to work out fine. We don't need any kind of patrol. And then kind of a threat. The actual thing happens and they're like, oh, well, let's send some people because maybe she's like, she needs her baggie of goldfish or something. Not this is the thing that we thought was going to happen. So all like red alert now.
I don't want to get involved in the governance of an underwater city.
Well, I do.
By the way,
Vote for me.
The only snack that Melody ever got when she was growing up were goldfish crackers.
Absolutely, just to rub it in. Yeah, see, it's funny.
I mean, her
Right,
mobile
like-
was all fish creatures.
Right. Why not horsies or something? Like, if you really want to cut this off,
Yeah.
do it well.
I think what I'm thinking about right now, and I find this kind of funny, is what if, you know how when you design or decorate a house, you kind of draw inspiration from the surrounding areas if you have a good eye for design? What if the inside of the castle was decorated completely opposite? Like it was super modern and like just did not fit the environment, or like it was alpine kind of like
like a cabin, like a log
yeah,
cabin.
like a log cabin, just to be really hideous and disgusting on the inside. Wouldn't that
And
be
if you're
fun?
going to have a
like it.
castle on the water and you build a wall so you can't see the ocean, why don't you just move to the mountains?
But you can't drown out the sound of the ocean. Tell me, I mean,
True.
what if she thought that there was an ocean in the mountains? What if you were skiing and you heard waves while you were skiing?
Where Eric, we can't move. I need
What if mer people could go skiing
The salt water is
underwater?
good for my sinuses. You know that.
Do you think that
Like a ski
the
resort
Marianas,
underwater?
yeah, or like Marianas Trench would be like a sea diving, like a skydiving,
Totally.
but sea underwater?
Yes.
What if there was
Yes.
climbing walls underwater for fish?
That speculation drawn out for 90 minutes would be better than this movie. I'm not joking.
I love all these ideas because they're my ideas.
Honey, you have the best ideas.
All right, this movie's almost over.
Not if we have anything to say about it.
I have
And we have lots.
plenty. All right, so we cut back to Melody, who's returns to Morgana. Ariel follows Cloak and Dagger, who lead her to Morgana's lair. Just as Melody is about to hand over the trident, Ariel swims in, and they both in unison say, "You're a mermaid." Morgana gets the trident to be able to control the 7 seas because Ariel lied all these years, and Morgana is the one who made her dreams come true.
Right. And she does this after Ariel is like less than an inch away from. She's actually, I think she even has the trident in her hands. And given the stakes, you can yank that out of your 12-year-old's hands. Like,
Exactly.
it's okay to do that. That's not child abuse.
You're
That's
probably
okay
stronger.
to do.
Yeah.
She probably is. I mean, her senses are deadened by all the White Claw that she's had all day.
No. She had sobered up at a Denny's with Flounder.
Right.
Right.
But
Okay.
she's sober
Makes it
now.
clear.
Right. It's like
Or she's having severe withdrawals.
that's it. That's she's got the shakes. She's not really thinking it through.
How awful. Ariel's really going through it right now. Like, let's give her a little bit of sympathy. Now she's at the lowest point possible in her
It's
relationship
easy.
with her own daughter. And she's going through alcohol withdrawal.
I've never had a hangover like this. It's
All I give up.
I'm sorry, Dan. No, or Jimmy.
So all right. So Morgana, she gets the trident. Immediately, it's clear she can't be trusted because she's about to get evil. And just then, the mini shark says, "Get with the program. It's still a small world down here." So Organa makes it very clear that Melody made a mistake. She should have trusted her mom, who was only acting out of love and to protect her from Morgana.
She could have waited 2 minutes before going evil. Let the other people leave.
Yeah, no, immediate. Morgana then locks Melody in an ice cave just as her temporary mermaid powers are about to expire. So she is murdering this child.
Yeah.
Cut to Tip and Dash, who are lamenting their cowardice for running away from Melody right at the sight of the shark fin. So they run away. They decide it's time to stop being cowardly worms and be heroes to save Melody. Morgana erupts from her lair with Ariel in tow when Eric, who is conveniently with his boat, he's sailing a ship to the lair because he knows where it is. Morgana.
Scuttle. They asked Scuttle to get help.
Oh, that's right. They did ask Scuttle to help. He led them there. Morgana destroys the ship immediately. King Triton arrives. Release my daughter.
A brand new Mercedes ship. Still have that new car ship smell.
None of the destruction she does is direct either. Like, she could just blow the ship up, but instead it's like, no, I'm going to hit an iceberg, and then it's going to probably hit the boat. It's just hit the ship.
Let me use this Triton to start a Rube Goldberg machine that'll fall down an iceberg and tip over a penguin who slides down a hill and knocks into another penguin, which starts a domino chain of penguins, which hits a bird that flies up and cuts some string with its beak, and the string
and
falls
put a candle
down.
in there.
Oh yeah, there's a candle.
Yeah,
any good Rube Goldberg machine has a candle.
In the end, it's actually the candle gets lit, which then melts the iceberg top and falls.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. So George
hours later.
Is this what Werner Herzog?
I was going for the title card announcer from SpongeBob. He's kind of like a friend. Yeah. 2 hours later.
Which that is actually Werner Herzog, so it's fine.
Oh. All right. So King Triton arrives. Release my daughter and granddaughter, and you'll be spared. Ursula makes her shark big again, heightening the threat. Eric demands for his daughter.
I wish the shark had just double-crossed Morgana. Totally. That would have been more fun.
Right. Should have. You mentioned the possible plot twist earlier, and I put together what that might have been, and I was like, that would have been... I mean, the movie still would have been trash, but this would have had an okay moment.
Yeah, get rid of Titanic, Tip, and Daring Dash. They don't do a whole lot for the movie.
They don't.
And make Undertow.
They accidentally, yeah. Okay, so Shark's big, Cloak and Dagger. Eric demands for his daughter, and Ursula sends him down into the lair by Cloak and Dagger. They pull him down. Tip and Dash are confronted by Undertow, and they put up a fight. Melody is about to become human again and suffocate under the sea, just as she is about to drown. Tip, Dash, and Undertow crash through the ice wall. Tip and Dash save Melody. Ursula is monologuing and making all the creatures bow to her, like literally making everyone bow. Melody then climbs her way up to Morgana's throne. As Morgana's about to curse Triton into oblivion, Melody grabs the trident, tosses it to her grandfather. Triton curses Morgana by freezing her, and like Superman 2 Zod frozen in space sort of scenario into what I assume is the Marianas Trench. Melody,
the Morgana's Trench.
I just want to point out for the listener, to give you an idea about just how bad this movie is. Jimmy just referred to Morgana as Ursula. And first of all, if you know, and if you listen to these shows, you know how proud he is to be very detail oriented and not make a mistake like that. And second, we would call him out on that if it was a better movie.
Yes.
And the three of us just let it. Jimmy said it, and we're like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Like,
I wrote Ursula more often than I've
Yeah.
said it, by the way, by accident. I noticed it in some of my, anyway, that's how Ursula, this character is same actress, same everything, just thinner. Okay. So, Melody's reunited with her parents. They should have told her the truth. It doesn't matter if she has fins or feet. Ariel and Eric love her for who she is on the inside. And then Triton gives her a choice. Says, you can either stay with us, you can come with us to the sea, or you can stay with your parents. And they like have a standoff. And Ariel and Eric are like, come on, honey, you want to stay with us? Like, they make eyes at her, like she has to make this choice, and it was like this, him or me kind of.
Such a weird ultimatum.
It was.
This is the kind of thing that you talk to your like daughter about before you offer.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, should we give her the choice?
Like, that's what this was all leading to. I either get to live with my grandpa, who I've never met, or live with my parents, who lied to me now.
I don't even know if he is my grandpa. Like, there's not been any confirmation of this. This is some jacked old motorcycle guy.
Right.
I get to live with cool motorcycle grandpa or my drunk mother and abusive father.
So Melody makes her own choice for the palace walls to be removed so they can all be together. And then Sebastian sings Land and Sea, Merfolk and Humans play together, the end.
Lots of steel drums.
Anyway, okay. All right. So thank God.
I know that there are a lot of people who I don't want to say lament the fact that they had were never able to go on Superstar Limo at California Adventure.
Oh, I love where you're going.
Yeah. And I get it. I get that it's this like legendarily awful thing, but you can legitimately live the feeling of what that ride was like at its essence just by watching this movie.
No, this movie is a YouTube ride-through video version of that ride.
Right.
Whoa.
Not even experiencing the ride.
But I mean, like the feeling that it leaves you with, that feeling of like, that's not even that. Did that really happen? Did I just like black out for an hour and a half? Like that's the feeling. And yeah, you know going in, it's going to be bad because like it's for Superstar Limo, it's at early DCA and you have a feel for like, I think this is going to suck. But like, same thing here. You're like, I think this is going to suck, but it's like, it's special. It is a very special kind of suck.
Yeah, it's. We'll get to it. Was it? I thought it was going to be good. I had really high hopes for this movie. I thought this was going to be the one that's going to take the reins, knock King of Thieves off its throne. But I think it's closer to knocking.
Yeah. I think we need. I think we should hold off on that. But I don't disagree with where you might be going here.
Okay. So if after this glowing review you want to watch it,
don't.
I recommend you have a beer pairing of Coors Light because it's cheap, bland, tasteless, and predictable.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. What are we going to eat?
Oh,
Audrey.
Well, you know what you're going to have is some of those like seaweed nori snacks that are like packaged in little, 3 by 5 inch squares.
Yeah, those dry sheets.
Yeah, so there's not a lot of substance to them. They're like pretty. There's not a lot of flavor. They're just kind of salty, a little bit salty. And you're gonna dip those into clubbed baby seal foie gras.
Yes,
yummy.
While listening to.
So this takes some explanation, as most of my things do. There's a band, or there was a band, if you can call them that, called the Shags. Anyone aware of this? It's gonna, So here's from Wikipedia. The conceptual beginning of the Shags came from Austin Wiggins' mother, who, when her son was young, had predicted during a palm reading that he would marry a strawberry blonde woman, that he would have 2 daughters after she had died, meaning the mom probably, his mom, and that his daughters would form a popular music group. The first 2 predictions proved accurate, so Austin set about making this third dream come true as well. Austin withdrew his daughters from school, bought them instruments, and arranged for them to receive music and vocal lessons. The Wiggins sisters themselves never planned to become a music group, but as Dot later said, Dad was something of a disciplinarian. He was stubborn, and he could be temperamental. He directed, we obeyed, or did our best. And the group that they formed is called the Shags. And you can tell that they're trying to make music, but it sounds like this.
Oh, no.
This is not a joke, by the way.
You're not speeding it up?
Nope.
Oh, the rich people want what the poor
God.
people got. And the poor people want what the
Yep.
rich
Oh my God. Yes, this is to music. Little Mermaid 2 is to movies.
Yep.
Why
They're
did
trying.
they record this?
Because Dad wanted to. He thought that they were going to be like the next Jackson 5.
He pulled them out of school.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but Audrey, a palm reader said it would happen.
God, this is so awful.
Right.
I hope
It's
they-
like
terrible.
2 different songs. The audio,
Right.
the,
They
the
have
vocals
some
are a
agency.
different track.
I'm sorry, Audrey, what did you say?
I hope they have some agency over their lives now.
They do. So, and I realize that this is going to be kind of a sad share, so I wanted to do a twofer. This is what that feeling of like several things happening at once can be if it's done well. And this is Platypus by Mr. Bungle. And their whole thing is we're going to change, like every 2 seconds or so, we're going to change the entire direction the song is going in.
This is
At
very
some point-
bizarre.
Yeah.
At some point, they play the sound of a radio going through a dryer.
It wouldn't. I wouldn't put it past them. These are actually skilled musicians doing like it sounds like this on purpose, and it can be fun. And if you take this but make it like a boring version, I think this is more accurate to what that movie feels like.
Wow. You know, I guess Cornelius kind of does this a little bit in some
Yeah.
songs.
Yeah, this is entirely. I mean, it'd be one thing if they didn't intend for it to sound like this, but this is totally like good musicians putting together music that's supposed to sound like chaos.
Why? What are they trying to say with this? What are they just experimenting, having fun?
Well,
Just trying
okay,
to
actually, if you
comment
want
on music?
I can give you an actual answer to that because it's they were friends with, I want to say John Zorn is the composer. I could be wrong, but John Zorn, his whole thing was he wanted to create music that felt the way Saturday morning cartoons felt, where like every 5 seconds or so a different beat would come in, so the music would change to fit the feeling. Like he was just a big fan of that musical experience. So
That's
That's
interesting.
yeah,
Different.
Yeah,
Very well done. It sounds
Yeah.
like a lovely evening.
indeed.
All right. So, power rankings. I will remind you in first place, Aladdin and the King of Thieves.
Yep.
Followed by Lion King 2.
Yep.
Tied for third on a little bit of a sidebar, Pooh's Grand Adventure, The Search for Christopher Robin, and Goofy 2, a very extremely goofy movie. Followed by Pocahontas 2, Journey to the New World, Belle's Magical Christmas, Return to Jafar, and in last place, Belle's Magical World. Where
Yes.
does Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea fit on this list?
It's
Last
better
place.
than Belle's Magical World.
Mm,
Slightly.
Second to last place.
All right.
I got to make an argument here, and I think
Okay.
okay. Belle's Magical is
Furball.
It's terrible. Like it is probably as a movie a worse movie than this, but it can be explained partially. Its badness can partially be explained by the fact that it was 3 episodes of what was going to be a TV show.
Yes.
Like zoinked together to form a movie. This movie isn't that, and it doesn't excuse the badness, but at least it gives you a reason to go like, okay, well, it's terrible in this way that I can understand. This is just terrible.
I say second to last for all the reasons, but it could be a last A and a last B.
I think it's second to last because it's overall a better experience than Belle's Magical World.
Agreed.
I think you're both monsters.
I mean, if I had to rate it, on a bunch of different scales, like story or, plot, story and plot are the same thing. I don't know why I corrected myself.
Mm-hmm. Undertone,
sound,
whatever.
Animation,
yes,
continuity,
yes,
colors.
Okay, hold on.
Characters, voice acting.
I'm reliving a little bit.
Town.
Crumbles.
I don't know. I was just getting weird with the rating system, but yeah, no, it's better. It's still it's second place.
Second last.
I'm trying. Okay, when you were saying those things, I was like reliving watching Belle's.
Don't relive it. It's clearly traumatic for you.
I think, yeah. Oh no. So okay, I'm doing that thing that we do on Scraping the Vault. Sorry, on the other show.
Where we keep Jimmy from getting to things that he has to do later.
Yeah, the other show about that. And I know sometimes when we can't make a decision, it's okay. You have one right next to the other. Which one do you go to?
Yeah, totally.
I think this
Little
movie.
Mermaid 2.
I think Little Mermaid 2, even though it's so bad.
Yeah.
Don't watch this movie.
Titanic, tip and daring, dash, adventure, / explore.
This movie should have it being a movie like revoked.
/ explorers, Titanic, tip and daring, dash, adventure, / explorers.
We invite you to listen to our other shows on our podcast network. Dan has referenced 2 of them so far, Scraping the Vault, which you just listened to, and The Supreme Resort. There's also Banter, Beskar, and Bantha Milk, and I think that's it.
So if a sequel existed for this movie, it would be like the Darjeeling Limited with Ursula and Morgana trying to like find themselves as adults, and then eventually coming into this scene with their mother and being completely just like...
It's a prequel.
Yeah, or it's an in-betweener, whatever. Oh yeah, I guess it would be a prequel.
Well,
but you know that crazy scene at the end of Darjeeling Limited, spoiler alert, where they finally meet up with their mom and it's kind of like it's an anticlimax. That's how the movie would end with Morgana.
I don't watch good movies. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. I recommend it.
I think, well, we don't know how big the Ursula family is.
No, we don't. What's their last name, by the way?
Ursula.
10 to 10. Ursula and Morgana.
You know what? What if it was just like Franklin or Ursula Franklin and
Jones?
Ursula
What's the scientific name for octopus?
Sea spider. But we don't know how big the family is, so through most of this movie, I just wanted Morgana to win and kill everybody. So that's the sequel. That's the sequel to me. Is whatever the next Ursula is, still voiced by Pat Carroll, like now, and I don't know what that means. I don't know. I imagine she is of an advanced age and probably likely sounds like it. You know what? I want her to sound like it. And I want Mama Ursula to come.
Yep.
And just like in Lion King 2, have it be like, well, you know, you can't have your dumb kids do it, so you're going to do it yourself. And then she just wins. And that's it.
Just give me a villain song, because that's all I want.
Yeah.
Guys, you may get your choice, because
oh no.
The Little Mermaid, Ariel's Beginning, is a straight-to-video Disney prequel to the 1989 animated film The Little Mermaid.
Is that what we're watching next?
No, that's a ways down the list. Our next film is, drum roll. It is Lady and the Tramp 2: Scamp's Adventure.
Oh, Scamp.
And is that on Disney Plus?
We're in the process of finding out.
Our assistants are looking into it. While our office team looks into it.
By the way, we watched the live action Lady and the Tramp yesterday.
Oh, God.
Not good.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
But the Valkyrie voices it. Lady and the Tramp 2: Scamp's Adventure is on Disney Plus.
Cool. And while you're talking about things, promoting them, I want to throw out there that the Supreme Resort group is on Facebook. And yes. I understand that you might hear that and think, there's no way in hell I'm going to engage in another fucking Disney group on Facebook, because they are all becoming a safe haven for racists and absolute weirdos. We are a good group. We're friendly. True. We're fun. We have game nights. I'm very proud of where the group has come. It's still a small group. We want people to come, interact, make friends, talk to people. It's becoming a little bit like a family for some people. And welcome, come join us. And if it ever starts to become like one of those awful Disney groups, I will fix it.
Yeah, we'll delete those people. And yeah, it's a very safe space. I mean, hell, we're helping to plan trips to Disney World with some of our Facebook group. We know Disneyland and Disney World like the back of our hands, as you know. So it's a good place. It's enjoyable. It's getting more and more activity. People are, and because of the game nights, like there are people who have become friends through game night, like people who live in the same city.
They have become on Patreon, but
not quite that close. Right, quite that close. Also, I'd like to mention our official travel partner, that is Concierge. Concierge is a Disney vacation planning company who will plan your entire Disney vacation at the parks, worry-free. Just call them. They will take care of it all for you. And in fact, when our listener on the Facebook group asked what they should do, how long they should go to Disney World, we gave them our answer and then said, call Concierge.
Right. And they got like 5 very good answers that were not contradictory either.
That all said, also call Concierge.
Right.
So it's a great resource. It doesn't cost you any additional money, and they will answer all your questions. Disney World's a complicated place if you've never been. Now, by the way, is not the best time to go if you have never been. You can read more about that on our Facebook group on my blog, titled A Taste of Walt Disney World, My COVID-19 Pandemic Experience. It is really interesting. If you've been to those parks, it's mostly pictures. Go take a look at it. It's very interesting. Also on our Facebook group, so you need to be a member. Also, be cool. Go to our
stay in school and go to our group.
Don't take your kids out of school in order to let them be musicians. Also, Spectro_radio at both Instagram and Twitter. Listen to spectroradio.us. Game nights, you can contact us. Jimmy at earsup-podcast.com. Dan at earsup-podcast.com. Audrey at
Under the Sea. Under the Sea.
Just throw it right away, put it in a bottle, and throw it in the ocean.
Yep. All right. Well, my dog is barking at the door. That can only mean one thing.
She's possessed.
Yes. And rewind.
All right. Until next time, be kind.
Be kind and
rewind.
And then I'm dipping my burger in the cheese sauce, and
And then you dip your dick. You dip your dick in
I
it.
sure did. My dog loved it. So good.
All right.
What?
And we got some more cheese, if you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
Dick
Yeah.
cheese. Gross.
I used to love that insult. What's up, dick cheese?
Yeah, we used that on in Grace and improv
Under
practice,
Fire?
I think. No, we
Grace Under Fire?
Audrey and I think. Oh my, I'm Gainy. Hold on. No, we're
I used Tide personally.
Yeah.
I used
I would
Tide.
yeah.
Thinking about
No, we
fabric.
started
well.
a scene about an abusive, like the drama club were the bullies, and we started laying into Josh. We're like, "What's up, cheese dick?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then there was like suddenly a gangster film and
We
like
would,
mobster.
yeah, and the way that we would fight or be tough is to do like monologues from your good man Charlie Brown.
Oh, yes. I was Schroeder in that. And in fact, we got a piano. My wife got a baby grand. And so I'm on that and I'm playing that song Schroeder. I'm getting pretty good at it.
Nice.
It's an abridged version of Moonlight Sonata.
Oh, yeah.
Really good. I love playing it. It's therapeutic. I'm getting good at it. I'm trying to get my wife to sing, but yeah.
There aren't any lyrics to
And in the You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, Schroeder's playing the Moonlight Sonata, and Lucy is sitting on the piano and singing. She's making up lyrics.
Yeah.
Do you know something, Schroeder? Ding, doo, doo. I think the way you play the piano. It's really obnoxious. So that's
There's
what
our
she's
Easter egg.
I did a
nice.
tragic and dramatic story of my pet bird's passing.
Oh, wow.
I think.
Do you?
I think
What?
you told it.
Maybe.
I think I've heard it, but I don't know where it was shared.
It's really not that. It's just Moonlight Sonata happened to be the theme song of the event in a weird way.
I half expected you to paint a scenario where Moonlight Sonata killed your bird.
Basically, so here's the story.
Yeah, I think
had to go to
this.
I had to go to volleyball practice that night, and our pet bird Ouija wasn't doing so well. He had been sick off and on for a couple months, and he was sick again, and I was like, oh man, I'm just gonna do what I can for him. So I'm sitting on the couch with my bird cradled on my chest. It was really my brother's pet bird. It was a gift. He lived to be about 8. Anyway, he's sitting on my
Your brother?
chest.
That's tragic. You're talking about a bird? When your
Yeah,
brother
no.
died at 8 years old?
No. Let me talk about there are 3 characters here. Me.
Okay.
Actually, there are 4 characters.
All right.
There's my mom.
Mhm.
My
She is quite
brother.
a character.
Played by
Yes. Who would play my mom? Huh.
Hmm.
You know did you ever see My Big Fat Greek Wedding?
let's say I did. Just
It was overhyped, and so I didn't.
All right, well, forget about it. Anyway, the bird was dying. He's on my chest, and my mom's like, "Why don't you play piano for him, Audrey? Because
Aw.
Ouija loved sitting on your shoulder when you're playing." And he
Speaking
couldn't
of
actually stand. His feet were kind of like curled underneath his body in a really sad way. Anyway, so I get up. My mom's holding the bird in her palms, kind of cupped, and I start playing Moonlight Sonata because that's what I was practicing at the time. And Ouija starts like twitching and kind of convulsing and goes into death throes. And he basically twitches his way out of my mom's hands and onto the wood floor.
Oh,
wow.
And I like get up from the piano and I'm like, Ouija, no! In a very kind of like mourning wail sort of a way. And then so there he was dying or dead on the floor. And then I had to go to volleyball practice.
Wow.
And we watched The Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea.
Hold on.
I don't know which is more tragic.
Hold on. If we're gonna, I guess I'll do the intro.
You're
I
doing
haven't in a while. Okay.
It's all you.
Monkey.
Okay. This is me doing the intro. I'm going to press the button to make the sound happen. The sound is happening.
What's happening?
And
Coming soon to video
the man
cassette.
spoke,
What's happening?
and now music will happen.
Yes.
Hey, boys and girls, and people who are not. Oh, wow, I messed that up. But welcome to this free resort. Why is it that when we start recording early, we always have to start this over again?
No.
Dan,
Yes.
Dan, a quick note.
Yeah.
This is Scraping the Vault.
What did I say?
Supreme Resort.
It's starting to happen.
What if you welcomed us as like people of
Dan
the
hates
sea?
the Beatles.
Okay. Yes, you should.
Like Atlanteans,
Yes.
guys, gals,
Atlantica.
non-binary pals, and
Atlantica.
mer people,
Oh God, I should have like.
mer citizens.
I need to have bubbly sounds or something. God damn it. Okay, here we go. Okay, you can do this.
You got this.
I'm rubbing your shoulders. Virtually rubbing your shoulders.
Okay.
By the way, all this should be kept in.
Coming soon to video cassette.
This episode of Scraping the Vault is dedicated to the memory of Ouija. We're sorry Audrey killed you.